Welcome to Cosmos of Bailey. I'm Bailey and I'm a clairvoyant, psychic medium and spiritual healer based in New Zealand. Welcome. So today's video is going to be on what happens when you evolve out of a certain frequency or energy, and then how does this affect you in the earthly realm, and what are some of the things we can experience, and what are the things that we feel? Because I did a video a very long time ago and I dreamt about it, soul integration, and it feels like a lot of stuff has happened over the last few weeks, or like more stuff has come into the body almost, and we have, for a big group of us, we have evolved out of a certain frequency and into a new energy line almost, and it feels to me very, very clean and clear, and it is very separated off from the chaos and whatnot of another separate energy line that other people are experiencing themselves. I don't think it's the best way to describe it, that the energy feels very clean and clear and aligned, and so you begin to notice very quickly around you when people aren't oscillating on the same energy line as you per se, or the same frequency, and it won't feel connective and supportive. And when we sort of evolve out of a frequency, a lot of the things, all the energies that we were surrounding ourselves with previously, begin to start working for us, and it can be quite confusing and a little bit confronting, because it's sort of like, okay, I was taking my business down this way, and now all of a sudden this doesn't feel like it is holding any purpose for me anymore. This doesn't feel like it's fulfilling me anymore. I'm really bored of it. I don't want to do this anymore. What else did I write down here? You're probably going to feel annoyance, or a slight annoyance at people who aren't maybe being as respectful as you, or who are maybe experiencing themselves elsewhere. And it's like, okay, come on. You're probably just looking for like-minded energies. And it's like almost like the soul pops in, more of the soul energy, and it's more so about in the higher frequency. When you evolve out of the denser one, the soul, it is easier to hear and feel the soul energies and the soul wants and desires, which is very different to maybe our previous personality that was not quite so tuned into the soul, or more tuned into density and other types of energies. So it was a little bit harder to hear the soul. So when we evolve out of a certain energy or frequency, we also have this sort of a little bit of a grand awakening where we realize that we weren't really living life. We were sort of maybe just on the back seat of life, and we weren't really in the driver's seat of our lives. And we maybe look back over the past years, and I wasn't really even doing stuff that I wanted to do. I wasn't in relationships that I actually enjoyed. I was putting out all this content that was not who I actually was, and but I don't know what to do because it's working, but it doesn't fulfill me anymore. Or maybe, like, say, a good example would be, say, if you worked as an intuitive in the last few years, you had gotten really successful, and then all of a sudden, the last few weeks, you would have just been like, this does not work for me anymore. Do I need to get a new graphic designer? Do I need to go on another journey? And it is everything. I think the word to describe that old frequency feels very, very stale. And so you can't really, it just feels stale and almost like it's bankrupt, and it's just void. Like the cosmos has just been like, no, we are done there. Yeah, so you're letting go of density and heaviness, and that gets replaced with soul desires and pleasures. And so it's sort of like we begin to go, and this is a little bit of the divine feminine energy and that high divine masculine energy, is that we sort of go, and we feel it in the earthly body. We want to go and align with stuff that's actually beneficial to our soul and our life experience in the earthly realm. And it's almost like having a door open that was closed for ages, and then all of a sudden the cosmos is like, here, you can walk through the door now, and the door's open for you to move into that frequency. You'll also probably find that you will upgrade into more maturity, and you realize that maybe you weren't really coming from the highest light, or you look back at some of your experiences and how you were acting, and maybe it wasn't, in your highest good or whatnot, and it's very normal and natural when you evolve into a higher frequency to look back at your behavior and just think, oh my gosh, I was not being my best self, I was being a twat, or I was doing this or that, and oh my goodness me, like, it's very normal. And you sort of let go of a lot of behaviors and resonances as well from the old frequency, and you just look at them and you just think, I don't need to do that anymore. It just sort of leaves the body very naturally. And then we want to start aligning with easy breezy energy. So when we leave that old frequency, we get tired of the constant repetitive chaos and conflict, and just sort of replaying out the same stuff over and over, and then we start wanting, and something happens, and we just go, oh, I can't be bothered. Then the soul, I can't be bothered dealing with this anymore. I'm finished here. I want to go find something more enjoyable. You want easy, breezy energy to work with, and that is a change of frequency. Is that you don't want to go into energy that is going to make your life harder. Because when we are in density and heavy energy, life feels really, really hard. And so if you've had this massive upgrade or out of a lower frequency, you're going to feel like, no, I want things to be easier. I want to align with people and make friendships and connections that are just supernatural and pleasurable and easy and fulfilling. So that's soul energy. That's the soul. Not interested in conflict or hard energy and things that don't naturally click. I think that's a very important one. You're not going to go try forcing yourself to click with things that just aren't clicking, because there's enough of the soul higher frequency energy there to just be like, okay, this isn't clicking and this isn't working. This isn't for me. And you don't try and force things to work. It's just like, okay, this isn't working. And it's not about, oh, that person is blah, blah, blah. It's just about, no, this isn't clicking, this isn't working, this isn't for me. So it's easier to navigate. So feeling that what you were doing isn't working anymore, and it wasn't really who you were. I know for me personally, a lot of my life I've just felt like it's been really, really, really hard. And I've been sort of pushed to let go of that struggle mentality. And today it feels a bit more like, I don't need to be like that anymore, but it's been like that for such a long time. And so people will maybe just find they'll pop out of stuff and be like, okay, I'm actually done, and it'll just leave the body. So you're doing, what was I just saying? Feeling that what you were doing isn't working anymore and wasn't really who you were. But also, I think what a lot of people are feeling is what they have been doing was really successful, but they don't know what else to do, or they can't let it go because they don't know, maybe if I go and follow that soul desire or that soul pleasure, is it going to make me the money that I made previously? Is my creativity, is my feminine essence, is my masculine essence going to be able to support and sustain my ideas? And you sort of let go of maybe those comforts that kept you very nice and safe in the old frequency. You're like, I'm going to step out into this new energy. Let's step away and step out into the doorway and into the unknown and see where these feelings and these new energies want to take me. So there's sort of like there's a bunch of opening that's happened now, and definitely a lot of feelings of frustration, like I'm finished here, I want to move on, I'm done dealing with these people, I don't want to do this anymore, I want to go off in this direction. So there could be people being like, I don't know if I want to let go of this, but I know I need to, and I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going to go this way. There's other people being like, nah, I want to go this way and do X, Y, Z now. I'm done with that business model. I want to go and do something else. I feel really expansive and open. I'm ready for this. Okay, so, yeah, there's definitely a lot of, I think, of annoyance and frustration. And if I hadn't spent time with this person, then I could have gone and done X, Y, Z. And it's like, well, maybe you weren't ready to let go of that connection, and maybe you're waiting for the cosmos to do some aligning for you, because there is stuff that's opening up and it's very timed in the cosmos. Okay, so what can you do if you're feeling like, what the heck? Yeah, so what happens when you evolve out of certain, that's what happens when you evolve out of certain frequency. All of a sudden you feel like you're on a completely different energy line. And sometimes there is this period of adjustment that happens in the soul. You need to take a break, you need to take a rest, you need to start listening to your intuition. Maybe you need to go see a psychic or a healer, and talk to someone about what you're feeling and what's going on and why things are breaking down for you. Where am I going? What am I doing? It can be very confronting for others, but for others, they've sort of been waiting for it. So it is, it's a very, very interesting time. And yes, what happens when you evolve out of it, that's what happens. And also you'll find that you'll probably leave partners behind. You'll probably leave jobs behind. I know there's a lot of divorces coming through for a lot of people. I've been dreaming of that for a while. And as you move into the higher frequency, a lot of stuff just cannot continue anymore. And it's just time to let it go. And sometimes what happens is that we really cling on to the stuff that is no good for us anymore. And we sort of know it on some level, but we just don't want to let go of what it was, but it probably wasn't the best for you and probably didn't make you happy in the first place. And sometimes we cling on to things out of fear. Maybe we have done it for a very long time and we don't know what else to do. And there's a lot of like reconfiguration that takes place. And sometimes you've just got to be patient with that reconfiguration and wait for those intuitive hits to come back online and back through for you to re-guide you and direct you into new and wondrous creative things. What did I say? Yeah, go visit a psychic or a healer if you're feeling really overwhelmed and whatnot. They can really help you understand energetically what's going on. And yeah, that is what happens when we evolve at a certain frequency. And that was a little bit of an energy update. It feels very like I'm not quite sure what's around the corner, but I'm feeling really good. It also feels like, yeah, there's a lot of mixed bag feelings. That there's a lot of people I feel like are finishing out with stuff they don't want to deal with anymore. And it's a very interesting time. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that was helpful.